Previously on Farewell to Courtesy on Kings Highway. And now, the thrilling conclusion of Chuck's Courtesy Chicken Chain conversion. Welcome back, everyone. It's still October 2023 and this joint still looks like a Courtesy, but it's been a week and they're still very early into the process of changing the place over to a new Chuck's Hot Chicken location. Scheduled to open in December, there must have been a few hiccups to that plan, which isn't surprising when dealing with an old building, but interestingly, I learned this building isn't as old as I thought. A longtime viewer and perhaps fan of the channel reached out to me with a nice bit of anecdotal history regarding its origin, so heartfelt thanks to them for doing my homework. I still don't have a perfect picture due to misconflicting information, but it would seem to turn out this place was actually built in the mid-1960s. The story goes, a man named Leon Burrow of Jonesboro, Arkansas, made his way to St. Louis right around the start of the Great Depression, and rather swiftly into the food service industry, with delicious irony of all things, a fried chicken sandwich shop. I can only infer from various sources that he opened his first business near Arsenal and Morganford in 1933, but didn't settle on the Courtesy Chicken Sandwich Shop brand name until 1935, which he would grow to 10 by the 1950s. I thought I read Courtesy locations would eventually number over a dozen, but starting in the late 1960s, he began slowly downsizing until by 1990, he only retained this one. Mr. Burrow, being 80 years old at this point, passed the operation on to a family member the following year and passed on in early 1993. This building would seem to be a point of pride and joy for Mr. Burrow, as it is the one he held on to and had custom built intentionally to have a more desirable Steak and Shake look. Maybe the exterior got a good scrub down after it closed and went on the market, because looking at it now, it seems to have a lot more gleam to my eye than my perception has been all the years I've driven by and not once eaten here. As mentioned in the companion video to this one, the building and business were sold to a new owner in 1997 who kept the place going another 25 years while opening new locations for the first time in decades, but economic forces eventually conspired to close this historically pivotal location.
So we in good shape. Let's see, I got to cut a 1 inch and I can go in the bathroom and cut the half inch going up.
You just,
Do what you gotta do.
yeah.
Is this toilet still functional?
Not like this second.
Okay.
I got the water shut off. As soon as I get this 1 inch line cut and the 2 half inch, I'll fire it back up.
Yeah.
Half inch and that.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah. Okay, so, let me see. What information did you want? What was there, like, any nameplate information needed off the front line?
And so a new chapter begins with a little Dijon vu. That's supposed to be a sandwich joke. And another corner of history is turned. Well, it certainly is eye-catching, and that old canopy in the back looks like a much nicer place to be. I notice this place has indeed opened since this was filmed, and the first handful of reviews are knocking it out of the park, so good deal. Now, if I were the owner of this place, I would make some kind of plaque noting the history of the building and the St. Louisan who built it, or at least put a note on the wall or something, because while I understand the value of consistent brand design for image, this isn't the Rock Hill location between two other restaurants and a generic strip mall. This was the Courtesy Diner, a long-standing icon of St. Louis cuisine. You ought to say something. I'm going to say that I really appreciate how they fit their signage into the existing fixtures mounted on the building, keeping a unique retro and, I bet, cost-effective look in an ever-blending field of modern restaurant design, seemingly obsessed with stone-colored faux wood. And that seems to be all I've written for a script for this episode, so I don't know what else to say, but thank you for watching.